Mr. Geore Eke joins us now. He's a legal practitioner and also a member of the PDP. Thank you for coming on this day.
Thank you so much.
Well, what an election it was. Let's get your perspective, because I mean, different shades of responses about the elections, from how it started, the process, to how it finished. Where would you start from?
Well, I will start from the finishing line and then probably get back in time by way of process and probably strategy, and probably we end up with a post-mortem, as it were, because first and foremost, my first reaction to it is that the power of the ballot paper is tremendous. Nigerians have spoken, and it is a very strong warning to all politicians, no matter where they are, whether they are in APC.
That looks like a good part of it, isn't it?
Oh, sure. Well, that's when people say it is victory for Nigerians. They don't step it down to this level. What it is that the Nigerians can withdraw their mandate when they so desire. They can give it to you when they so desire. They will evaluate you. And just like we are talking about now, 4 years is down the line. They should be able to ask General Muhammad Buhari, our mandate that we gave to you, what did you do with it? So in other words, it is like the day of reckoning has come into our democracy. That's where we have been heading to. We have been asking for this. A situation where the ballot now counts. When I got into politics, the elections always took place before the voting. You could know who was going to be governor. You could know, all at that point in time, maybe PDP was very, very dominant. All you needed to do was to make sure that you get a nomination in PDP. You can go home and sleep. You are as good as elected. But it's not the situation now. And you see, when people talk about this, they don't really give the accolades. They don't give the commendation to who it belongs to. It belongs to President Jonathan. At a point in time when he was doing this, quite a number of party stakeholders were like, look, why are you allowing this happen? PDP was like larger than life, and they wanted it to remain that way. But the man said, look, let us expand this democratic space. Incidentally, he's the victim of that expansion. And that is the reason he is supposed to remain almost, I mean, he needs to be commended.
So
the reason is this. When the coalition was taking place, the realignment of forces that gave birth to APC, President Jonathan was in a position to nip it in the bud. When he lost those 5 governors, what was it they were asking for? They needed the party structures in their states and all of that. He could allow them go with that. That's what used to happen. So that people, because I can say this, because I'm a student of sociology, I don't make absolute statements with human behavior, but I can risk it here. Every politician has a price. I'm not saying most, I say every politician has a price. His price could be pecuniary, which is most times what quite a number of them are. It could also be altruistic. It could also be authority and power. The person is just looking for authority and power. Give it to him. And the moment you do that, all of those people who were coming together would have been dispersed. Even that coalition wouldn't have taken place if, for instance, he wanted to be the British politician and he probably was bullish about it. But he allowed that to happen. That is why.
Was that deliberate when you say he allowed that to
happen? Well, he allowed that to happen because quite a number of people said, don't allow this happen. We saw it coming. This coalition, I mean, it's not like it hit us in the face. There was no ambush in it. We saw it, people coalescing, you know, almost like realignment of forces and all of that. A lot of people leaving from, like I keep saying, I mean, half of the people who are in APC were in PDP. I mean, it's an open secret, everybody knows so. So you could stop them from, give them what they want. And the federal government is so huge that there is a lot to give. Everybody stays where he is. But he allowed that. So he expanded the democratic, give it to him. He expanded the democratic space. So, but again, let us go back. Like I said, we are going to start from what we have now. I was really, really impressed with the acceptance speech of General Muhammad Buhari, I said, when I say that, I mean it with everything I can summon. Either I give it to his speech writers or I give it to himself, because, I mean, it is his speech. So if there's any part of it that he doesn't like, he would have probably cancelled it. Every sentence meant a lot. And one of the things I found in it is that he had tried to douse the tension, just like his counterpart in PDP did. The APC is not particularly coming out gloating, or at least he's discouraging that, even though there are pockets of, overreaction by his supporters. I mean, somebody called me in Abuja yesterday that quite a number, there was a train of those who are celebrating the success, the victory of APC. And they were hitting on cars and all of that, and everybody must say Buhari before you are allowed. So he was forced to keep laughing at them and smiling at them and all of that. They probably were not sent by Muhammad Buhari, but they are just his supporters. But that takes us to what we are expecting from General Muhammad Buhari. If we extrapolate from that speech he made, we probably have a good country ahead of us. Because he was quite definite. And if he avoids the hawks that normally come around, they have started there with congratulatory messages all over the place. Before you know what is happening, they will take control of the whole place. And those are the people who cause problems for the Nigerians. The Nigerians do know that, and I keep saying so, those who are in PDP are the same as those who are in APC. It's just an imaginary line.
When you say that he allowed certain things to happen, and then the victory belongs to Nigerians, where do they draw the line? Because there are those who will also say, well, if he didn't allow this to happen, will victory have belonged to Nigerians? Is it too early in the day to say that, well, yes, indeed, all politicians now have got to know that elections will come every 4 years and the people's votes will count at the end of the day?
Yeah, and I think it is for a purpose. It is for a purpose because, you see, when a man wants to maybe leave his name in history books, as it were, on the positive side, he does quite a lot of things. And gradually, he ended up doing that, even to the discomfort of members of his party. And like I said this, I knew when it was happening. And I also knew those who opposed it. Very huge stakeholders, very major stakeholders said, President, don't allow these people come this way. Don't allow all of this happen.
Was he alone in that? Because just the same way we have people who will say, Mr. President, don't allow this to happen. Are there others who were with him saying, Mr. President, you're on course, you're doing the right thing?
Oh, sure. There are quite a number of people like in politics, you disagree and you also agree. There are people who also agree, who just said, no. Let us have a competition. Let us have a competition. And then you saw that happen. It's so close, such that people were now canvassing. Like I said elections took place before the voting. Now, every vote mattered.
Didn't you
needed to go and see the youths, you needed to see the youths, the churches, you needed to see campaign was up to